Hi, I'm Sabrina Fedel. I'm a 2014 graduate of Lesley University's MFA in Creative Writing program with a concentration of writing for young people. And I have a 2016 book, a young adult, called Leaving Kent State. That's historical fiction on the 1970 Kent State shootings that was published by Harvard Square Editions, small press. And my latest book, All Roads Lead to Rome, is part of the inaugural launch of Delacorte Press's new imprint, Delacorte Romance. And there will be a follow-on called All Paths Lead to Paris, which will be published in summer 2025. So I hope you like this. I'll read the first part of chapter 1. And the book starts with a quote from John Keats that I really love. I am certain of nothing but the holiness of the heart's affections and the truth of imagination. And he wrote that in a letter to Benjamin Bailey on November 22nd, 1817. Chapter 1. Rome is sweltering as it waits patiently for the sun to set over the Spanish steps. It's the kind of vapid heat that makes me wonder how the lions had the energy to leave their cages, let alone maul anyone. I'm in John Keats's bedroom, the room he died in, overlooking the sprawling steps below. Horses sweat in the middle of the Piazza d'Espagna as they wait to give carriage rides, immovable in the small throng of late May tourists. Most of the passers-by don't even know this was Keats's house, despite the enormous crimson plaque on the side of it. They come here for selfies on the famous steps and never give John's shrine more than a careless glance. For me, the Keats Shelley house is the best part of the neighborhood. I wonder if he stood exactly here, watching the people outside the way I do. Anna Maria comes and stands beside me. It's closing time story, she says in Italian. No more people watching today. She follows my gaze to a cluster of kids my age dressed like conspicuous American teenagers. They've stopped at the bottom of the steps. A group of tourists in matching red t-shirts flows around them like a school of minnows sliced apart. Wait, she says, is that the infamous dip squad? I purse my lips and nod. They're all there. Kelsey, Gwyn, Alicia and the twins, Patrick and Jack. We're the kids of American Diplomatic Corps stationed in Rome, but I've called them the Dip Squad since last fall, when they welcomed me with one prank after another to show me how things work here. They thought I was stuck up because I keep to myself so much. The worst was when they convinced me a stray cat near the embassy belonged to a cute Marine assigned to guard duty. They told me the cat had been lost for days, so I brought it to him. He thinks I made the whole thing up to hit on him. He still smirks every time I visit my mom at work. Which one is the dark-haired boy? That's Jack. But Patrick is the mean one. See? See. Jack is pretty cute. She elbows me. I scrunch my nose and she laughs. You should stand up to them. They don't seem worth being miserable over. They're not, but I'll be out of here soon, and Jack is the only one I'll ever have to see again. He's the one going to Princeton with you? See. Story, don't let other people keep you from living the life you want, she says, poking my arm. Come on, I have to get home. I have an exam tomorrow. Anna Maria is in her second year at Università di Roma. She works 2 afternoons a week at the Keats Shelley house, where I spend more time than is normal for a 17-year-old girl, even one as nerdy as me. We say ciao as she locks the door and she heads to the metro. The Dip Squad has blessedly disappeared. I promised my mom I'd go to the Gucci store in Via Condotti to buy a ridiculously overpriced necklace the ambassador wants to give to a visiting dignitary. I don't understand why people flock to designer stores to buy ugly things for thousands of dollars when they could find vintage treasures on the Via del Governo Vecchio for a few euros, but I don't get most things about people. When we moved here last August, I found my way around by using a copy of Fodor's Italy in 1951 that I bought in a used bookstore. Never out of date, it says on the cover, which makes me laugh, but the Eternal City is pretty eternal. There's something obscenely unromantic about a smartphone map. As I reach the edge of the piazza, I spot Patrick's blonde buzz cut leading the dips back in my direction. I duck into a gelateria. Buonasera, says the middle-aged man behind the counter. Buonasera. He looks at me expectantly, because most people come into an ice cream shop to actually get ice cream. My mom will have takeout waiting at home, but I might as well have dessert now, since I need to give the dips time to go past. I look over my choices. Un gelato alla stracciatella vegana, per favore? People burst through the door, and I turn my head, thinking it must be the dips coming to harass me. But it's a guy and a girl about my age, both of them looking like wealthy tourists. The girl looks a lot like the American singer Jasmine, but celebrities and celebrity lookalikes are as common as good pizza in this part of Rome. She has her dark hair in a ponytail like me, and we both have on yellow. though I'm wearing a vintage summer dress that Audrey Hepburn might have worn, and she's wearing a romper some stylist probably thought was retro chic. The man behind the counter asks me in Italian what size gelato and whether I want a cone or cup, but he's watching her. Una piccola coperta, per favore? Sì, signorina. The girl's voice is almost hysterical. Do you think they saw us? Maybe they're hiding out from the dip squad, too. The bad part about being a loner is there's no one to share your jokes with. I'm sure they didn't. The boy has a Scottish accent. He cranes his neck to look over her head without getting too close to the window. They can't see me with you. They won't. Keep the hide, he replies. But then he changes course. No, I think they're coming. I'm paying the man while they make this exchange, and he's listening intently. You're Jasmine, no? He asks her in heavily accented English. Yes. Is there a back way I could go out? The man nods, and Jasmine slips behind the counter. He ushers her to the back as if he suddenly thinks he's working for the CIA. I'll meet you back at the hotel, she calls to the boy while she slips the gelateria guy a fistful of euros. I walk past the Scot and step outside. A quick scan for the dips only shows me a group of people with cameras rushing toward the shop, ready to run me over. My gelato's already sweating, so I take a bite. The boy comes out of the gelateria and they snap his photo. Where's Jasmine? They all yell at him as if he isn't close enough to hear them. The flashes are so bright I squint even though their lenses aren't pointed at me. Who? The boy asks. We all saw you go in with her, one shouts as the rest clamor about where Jasmine is and click their cameras. Where is she, Luca? Where's Jasmine? You're mistaken, this Luca kid says as the roar of cameras almost drowns him out. He steps towards me and grabs my elbow as if it's a beer mug. Melting gelato flies off my spoon. This is the girl you saw. And that's the moment I envision going down in history with the Dip Squad if they ever saw these photos. My mouth open, filled with stracciatella, surrounded by paparazzi blinding me with flashes as I'm held up like a prize marlin by some guy named Luca while he covers for the reigning queen of pop, whose music I don't even like. And I'll stop there, but that's the beginning of chapter 1. So I hope you liked it, and thanks for reading with me and for checking out my book. Appreciate it.